Hey there, my name is Andy O'Neil, and this is my friend Kirk Braun. And in this video, we're going to talk about when to use AI in a make scenario and when to not use AI in a make scenario. So, how you doing, Kirk?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm excellent.
Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT.
Stop it. So, first of all, I just want to kind of set the stage here. Like, why is make and automation and AI a big deal? I mean, for 2 or 3 years now, we've had ChatGPT was kind of the first on the scene. It was added to Make, and I really started playing with that early. I actually wrote a couple small books with ChatGPT and have been incorporating it into Make scenarios. But what I see is many times people are like, oh, well, I can't figure out this hard part in Make, so I can just throw ChatGPT at it and fix it and move on. Because like it's kind of like the promise of AI is it'll fix everything that ails you. And so, but I've seen that kind of, relied on a little bit too much. Maybe it's a little bit too much of a silver bullet. And so that's what I wanted to talk about in this podcast. You have any thoughts on that?
That was
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
People use it to do things that obviously they're not sure of how to do, and I think
Yeah.
some people use it instead of learning. They use it as a crutch. So
Yes. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but like all these systems are baking AI in. And so I use another platform called Knack. It's like, and Make does this too. Don't don't worry about building your database. Just tell us what you want. We'll build it for you. And I've done that a handful of times. And
it's
it's
not
like,
what you
well,
want.
it's not what I want. And I have to go like destroy and tear up stuff to build it like I want. So like it's easy to say, and I feel like historically there's this idea that no code is easy. No code is easy. No code's not easy. You just don't have to know how to code. You still have to be a developer. So, it's kind of shortcuts the learning process that you and I have had for a lot of different things. Like when it gets hard and you got to spend some time figuring out, you grow and you learn and create new synapse folds or whatever in your brain. And that helps you for next time. If you just throw ChatGPT at it or an AI, I'm picking on ChatGPT, you just throw AI at it, then you don't learn. And so that's kind of part of that was a little tangent. That was for free. So kind of one of the things I see the most where people want to throw AI into Make is for data handling. A lot of times in Make. I mean, Make is you get data from a source, your trigger, then you have to look things up, and you might have to twist the data around or clean it or sort it or turn it into an HTML table or whatever. And that can be hard. Quite honestly, that could just be hard to figure out. And, it's easy just to say, hey, ChatGPT, create an HTML table from this blah of stuff. And, the problem with that is it just creates an over-reliance on ChatGPT to fix data issues when you probably should learn the skills on how to fix data issues yourself in Make.
Well, it's only going to be as good as your prompt too, right? So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, your prompt's never going to be perfect.
Right. Yeah. Prompting is key. Um, and you're jumping ahead, but we're going to talk about prompting here in a little bit because that's an important part of that. So, am I against putting AI in Make scenarios? Nope, not at all. I've done it quite a bit. I generate SEO blog posts. I mean, there's a lot of things I generate. Last week, I was creating a Make scenario to build faceless videos, and I had an audio script and I had a long video I was trimming down to make into a short, and I needed seconds turn into hours colon or no days colon hours colon minutes. so that we could trim that, because that's what the AI required. And I tried to do it with math, and it got really complicated fast, and I ended up with like 4 modules. It didn't even work. And I wrote a really good prompt for ChatGPT and just I put it in there, and it is working very well. So far, it hasn't failed. So I give it, I'm like, hey, this video's 67 seconds long, converted to this format, and it's done that. So that's kind of a micro task, a small task for ChatGPT. But then there's the bigger task of writing SEO posts. So, there's definitely places to put it in there. Don't feel like I'm saying don't put it in your make scenarios. Just be smart about which ones you put it into.
And if you're using it to write stuff, you should check the stuff of it every so often, because it does hallucinate sometime and make stuff up. So even when you tell it not to.
This is a neat article. I'm just going to throw it away. We're just going to trash that one and move on. Yeah, I've done that. So as you said earlier, Kirk, prompt engineering. I heard this. I watched a webinar or something. It's probably been a year ago now, or close to a year, about a guy who was a prompt engineer. And this is what he said. And this was really hard to hear at first, but I 100% believe him. He said, if AI is not giving you what you want, then the issue is not AI. The issue is your prompt or your prompting. And at the time I was like, well, I've been using it for a while. Like, no, it's not. It's got to be I guess it does. I guess it is the prompting. So, and this goes back to if you're new to Make, you might also be new to AI. And if you don't have really great prompting skills, don't just throw an AI in there to fix a problem. And then maybe your prompt is only going to make it work 70 or 80% of the time. Now you have a weak point in your automation. And quite honestly, my best prompts are when I go to an AI and tell them what I want, and let them write the prompt for me. And I do this a lot with Claude. I'll go to Claude and say, hey, I need you to write a ChatGPT prompt. I kind of like the idea of another system writing the prompt for what I need it for. And I need you to write a prompt. This is what I want it to do. And, sometimes you have to tweak it, but Claude does a really good job of prompt writing. And if you just could do a brain dump, sometimes I'll just record. I'll turn my speech to text on my computer and just talk into the prompt. And it turns it into a really good, into the prompt box, the field. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Okay.
We're following.
And it does a really good job of prompting that. How's the coffee?
That's good stuff.
Hey, and by the way, if we're not done, but if you need help with Make or prompting, you can click this link here. You can get one-on-one help from me or a member of my team. You can also join the Co-Build Collective, which is a community where we do co-building together. We also cover AI and Make in that. And you can click this link to find out more about the Co-Build Collective. So, again, here's some of the issues I have. I want to summarize these. Overdependence on AI. You're building a scenario and, oh no, it's hard. I don't know how to do it. Just throw AI at it. Overdependence on AI. Inconsistent outcomes, which we've talked about the prompting, but could also be your data. Maybe your data doesn't come through the same way each time. So a really good prompt will fail because the data looks like something it wasn't expecting.
No.
And then, you really got to consider how critical is this scenario. If it's running your business, and I would put little or no AI in it if it's running your business, unless you've gotten help or you're really good at prompt. And then, just integrating kind of best practices, testing and validation. Rarely do I build a scenario and turn it on and walk away, and it runs forever by itself without issues. Like there's time once you get the pressure of production testing into it, you find those gotchas and those errors and those things. So kind of ease into using it in a production situation, and then use error handling or fallback things. Today we created it wasn't AI, but a webhook scenario, and we're not really sure what data it's going to send. So I said, when the data comes, send Kirk and I an email, and then we'll go look at it. We'll finish building. Yeah, we'll decide what to do with it. We'll finish building the scenario once we see what data they send us. And it's not super mission critical, but it's something we need to, handle if the data comes our way. Just to close, Kirk will let you chime in here too, but I think just a balanced approach to using AI with Make. I would say, again, if you need help, reach out, get some help. Kirk, you've been in the community where I've helped people, and I think they get a pretty favorable response when they get a little bit of help when they're stuck, yes. and an expert can come in and yes. kind of help them get past that.
I would say it's more than a pretty favorable response. That a lot of people are very elated. Like that you took a spider web scenario and thinned it down to one line that's like 8 modules from 30. I've seen that happen. So
I like elating people. Elating people? Is that? Yeah, we'll have to ask Grammarly. We'll ask ChatGPT when we get off, right. if that's a thing. So again, I'm not against AI. I think it's an amazing tool. I think it is not the end all be all. So just be wise about where you use it and how you use it, and test. Consider and test.
You're going to use it. There's no
and
such
consider
thing as
the implications. If this blows up and crashes, is my business going to come to a screeching halt? Or do we have time? It's like, oh, well, yeah, I'll get in there later today and fix it. Because I have scenarios that run, and when they go off, I start hearing like, hey, we can't ship, we can't get orders, we can't get, like, businesses come to a screeching halt. And so, just keep that in mind. Parting last thoughts, Kirk?
AI is great. I use it almost every day, but I put learning for myself over the AI when I can. So.
And you probably actually use it better and more frequently than I do. I'm still.
Can we get that recorded? We are recording it.
I still go Google stuff, and you're like, let's ask Perplexity. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should have asked Perplexity instead. And what's funny is I keep sending his videos talking about the shift away from Google to Perplexity to ask questions, because it delivers the answer, not a list of links that possibly contain an answer. So yeah, very cool. Well, if you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also find more videos here, and I'll post a video about using AI to post to LinkedIn. It's actually one of the most popular videos on my channel, and you might enjoy watching that tutorial. I thank you for watching. I thank Kirk for being here.
You're welcome for being here. We'll see you next time.
And we'll see you next time.